We do our PCL with a femoral tunnel first technique. What we do is we do an inside out drill of the femoral tunnel, and we use a far anterolateral low portal, and we mark it with a spinal needle. So spinal needle is used to assess the trajectory, and as we all know that the anterolateral bundle is reconstructed. This is a single bundle, and we reconstruct only the anterolateral bundle of the PCL. What we do is we use a microfracture awl to point the starting point, and we'll just tap it a little bit so that we have a point, we have a small mark there which is there. And then what we can do, so the microfracture awl will be put about 7 millimeters from the chondral surface, and then what we do is we just put our bead pin into that hole and then drill it across the cortex. So we put the bead pin from the hole that was made by the microfracture awl, and the bead pin is inserted past the lateral cortex. Once that is done, we'll repeat and recheck the femoral insertion point. It should be about 7 millimeters from the cartilage surface, and then we will use the reamer. We'll use the larger reamer first. We'll use the reamer which is the size which is appropriate to our graft, and we'll ream it up to 25 millimeters. Occasionally we can ream it up to 27 to 28 millimeters as well. So once we have done it, we have to be very, very careful that we should not pierce the lateral cortex. Okay, so because if you pierce the lateral cortex, you will not be able to use your endo button as the fixation device for the femoral side. So you will drill it up to 25, and then what we'll do is we use the endo button drill. You check your femoral socket, and then you can use your shaver to actually see the socket, and then you will use your endo button drill to, you can see that there is a very nice socket which is marked and which is also anatomical and which is actually at the anterolateral bundle of the footprint. And then we will use our endo button drill to drill it through the lateral cortex. So what it will do is it will make the tunnel in a proper shape, and with that we can also have an idea about the length of the femoral tunnel, and we will also have an idea about the fixed loop button that you need to take. Usually the tunnel size is about 30 millimeters, and we use a 30 to 35 millimeters, and we use about a 15 meter of a fixed loop. Then we'll pass the scope underneath to our PCL into the posteromedial portal, and we make the high posteromedial portal first. So this is made with a switching stick or a Messenger rod, and we'll guide a cannula over it. So rest of the surgery will be performed by the scope which is visualizing through the high posteromedial portal. Then we will use our spinal needle to make the low posteromedial portal. So the low posteromedial portal will be made in the line which is perpendicular to the joint line. The portal is marked by the spinal needle, and again a Messenger rod is used to make the portal. This portal, the low posteromedial portal, will be our predominant instrumentation portal, and this portal will be used to clean the soft tissue on the back of the knee. This portal will be used to clean the soft tissue on the posterior septum as well. So we'll use a Messenger rod, a switching stick, and we'll insert the cannula over it. So once both of these cannula are inserted, the rest of the work becomes simple. So we have two cannulas in the posteromedial portal now, and we'll insert the scope on the high posteromedial portal. And once we insert it, we'll be able to see the femoral condyle, the PCL on the back. There will be a little bit of inflamed synovium, and you'll be able to assess the PCL beneath the synovium. So the initial thing is you will resect the posterior synovium. Okay, you'll just release a little bit of synovium, and it is worthwhile to resect a portion of the posterior septum. The reason being, if you resect the posterior septum nicely, your posterior neurovascular structures will fall backwards. So it is a good thing to resect the posterior septum. The posterior septum will be just behind the PCL. When you are doing it, you have to place your shaver towards the upper side. So you will resect the shaver, you will resect the tissue which is just above it. So you have to resect the shaver with the shaver facing upwards. And when you resect the soft tissue back of the PCL, you will be able to visualize the footprint of the PCL. So now the PCL footprint is up to the champagne neck. So what is the champagne bottle neck? I'll just explain you in detail. So resect the posterior septum in detail, resect the synovium, and then you can identify your tibial footprint. Now what we do is we use our tibial PCL guide, and usually we insert it. This is the tibial footprint that you can see here, and we'll just prepare the footprint to just put it at its own place. Once the footprint is cleared, what we will do is we will insert the guide. So we use a tibial footprint jig, and usually we pass the jig through the upper window. So we pass the jig above the PCL, and we place the jig. The exit point should be right on the footprint, and the exit point should be at least 15 millimeters less of the down of the tibial level. So what we are seeing here is we are just cleaning the posterior septum a little bit so we can see the jig nicely, and we'll just see the markings on the jig. The jig has got its own markings, and we can see here that the markings of 15 millimeters. So the 15 millimeter, so the exit point should be 15 millimeters below the tibial level. And once we are that, we just erase the tissues. Now you can see on the back the popliteus muscle fibers are identified, and then you can drill the tibial drill guide. Once you have drilled it nicely, you can use the last about 5 to 7 millimeters by hand reamer. You don't have to use force because the posterior vessel is just behind it. So you can just tap the drill guide a little bit. Once you tap the drill guide, you can see it nicely, and you use your curette from the low posteromedial portal as a protector to protect it, and then you can ream your size as recommended. You can ream it by, supposedly it is 9 millimeters in this particular case, so you can just use a 9 millimeter. You drill the femoral tunnel nicely, and then you can use your shaver to clear the mouth. This step is important because this passage is difficult, because there is a U-turn here, there is a pillar turn angle here, and this passage is difficult. So you should clear the mouth nicely, both through the tunnel and through the low posteromedial portal as well. So the PCL is clear. Now the next step is clearing the lower window. So we need to prepare the space. As we know, this is a augmentation procedure. So we will try to preserve as much as PCL footprint as possible, but we need to remove only that much of the PCL which is required to pass the PCL beneath the PCL remnant. So now this step, we shuttle the fiber wire. The fiber wire which was shuttled through the femoral tunnel initially is now taken back. We use a arthroscopic grasper to push the fiber wire into the posterior posteromedial gutter, and now through the low posteromedial portal we'll guide it to the inferior area, and from that area we can use the arthroscopic suture grasper through the tibial tunnel to pass it through the tibial tunnel. Now the loop is passed, the graft is passed from the tibia to femur through this approach, and in this particular case we are using a fixed loop button 15 millimeters of size, and this will be passed through the loop, and this is passed nicely. Now you can see, now we shift the scope through the anterolateral portal and we'll pull the graft nicely. So when we pull it, and we have a pointer, we use a vitral suture which marks as a pointer, and then we'll flip the endo button on the lateral femoral cortex. And once it is flipped, what you can do is you can pull on the tibial sided sutures from the graft, and that will actually reduce the graft. So now we shift the scope to the posteromedial portal, and we'll give full anterior draw, and we'll pass a guide wire through the tibial tunnel, and under direct visualization we'll use a bio screw or a screw to use an aperture fixation on the tibia. Here aperture fixation is very important because the aperture fixation will lead to a lesser killer turn. So once the aperture fixation is done, you can use your standard modality. I usually suture it with a suture disc on the tibia itself. Once it is done, you have a solid knee with no posterior sac. Thank you.